girls, gays, theys, dolls, action figures. Well, I assume if like trans women are the dolls, then... Hello, my name is Carter. Welcome to Carter Does Stuff. This is my channel where I do stuff. And today is an important day for me, but especially for you. Because today we will be commencing the Ultimate Golden Boot Bracket War Tournament of All-Stars, where we will be figuring out what is the absolute worst look to ever be on Drag Race ever in the history of Drag Race history. Oh, a poorly dressed homosexual judges internationally acclaimed drag queens that are vastly more talented and successful than he will ever be? How original. Even though I wrote that myself, it still kind of hurt. Basically, I put out a call of action to y'all on TikTok. You should go follow me right there. And I asked you also on YouTube what you personally think are the worst looks in Drag Race history. And I combined them all in a sort of bracket wars. I forgot what the website was called. And we're going to be going through them one by one, putting them head to head and figuring out who truly was the biggest flop of them all. And of course, I sprinkled a couple of my own personal picks in the mix as well. But a few rules before we begin. Rule number 1. No repeat queens. You know, there's not going to be multiple Bob the Drag Queens or multiple Ginger Minges. We'll save that for the All-Stars tier list. Rule number 2. In order for a look to qualify this list, it generally has to be considered bad by a majority of the fandom. Personally, I would have put Plain Jane's gimp suit look thing on here, but I understand that that's personal taste, and a lot of people actually kind of liked it. I don't know why they liked it, but they liked it. And lastly, and this may be the most important rule, rule number 3. Please don't dox me. Listen, I understand we all have our little tunnel vision and we all like certain queens, but for the love of God, if a queen you like is on this list, don't send me a death threat. Don't tell me I should off myself. And I know I hate that expression, but in this context, it really is not that deep. With all that out of the way, shall we begin? I have selected 20 looks across the main US franchise of Drag Race, but again, if this video does well, there may be an All-Stars or even an international version of this eventually in the future if this video does well. Now, with all that out of the way, let the Golden Boot Tournament bracket, whatever this video is going to be called, commence! Okay, up first we have Ginger Minge's Season 7 Design Challenge Runway versus Elliot with 2 T's, Fascinating Fascinators. With Ginger, I could have picked, quite a few of her looks, actually. But I chose this one specifically to be like, what are these? What are, I understand that they're supposed to be breasts, but like, also, little side tangent, them choosing to do a conjoined twins, essentially like making fun of like a really serious illness.
Couldn't do that today.
Yeah, this look is bad. It's not great, but honestly, she got a little lucky because Miss 2T's. If she hadn't said this was supposed to be a flamingo, I would have never thought that this was a flamingo. Because the weird, like, flesh tone sleeves, the neon pink hair, the fascinator, which is unironically the best part of this look, but I don't think this is a hard decision to make. Miss 3K, Miss 2T's, you're moving on, and Miss Minge, see you in the All-Stars tier list. Next up, we have Mystique Summers Madison Country Realness versus Derek Barry's Tin Man. Mystique, this was back in the day where they basically got the call for Drag Race, and they immediately beelined it for Forever 21 and just ransacked the place. And they just showed up with their mole drag. Bring back. I also think that there's just something so like inherently camp about being arguably one of the most country queens on the cast, and then turning up in like one of the least country look. Now on to Miss Derek Barry.
What have you done?
This is rough. Outfit itself, the hair, the makeup. This look is also famous for Hemgate. Again, I think it's a pretty clear decision. Miss Barry, you're moving on. Ooh, no, this is a hard one. Jiggly Caliente's Baked Potato versus Maddie Morphosis' Average Floridian look. Both of these are bad. but which one is worse? For Miss Jiggles, she asked herself, do I want to put feathers, tinfoil, or tulle in this look? And she answered
Yes.
As for Madeline, she asked what color should I use for this look, and she said,
Yes.
I mean, they're both pretty terrible. This is hard. I think if I'm really, really, really honest with myself, I think I'm gonna have to choose Jiggly Caliente. Up next, we have an oldie but a goodie, the infamous Bob the Drag Queen robot look. And as well as a more recent flop, a mandatory meetings, purple, sexy alien. Now, at first glance, this seems like a difficult decision. However, I personally would like to defend Bob the Drag Queen right now. I feel like a bit of this hatred towards this specific look was because of that win. If she hadn't won anything, I don't think people would hate this look nearly as much. As for Miss Meeting, I don't know what the she was going for, but she sure went for it. It's a mandatory meeting. You're moving on, honey. Up next, holy shit, we have two of the possibly worst looks ever in the history of this franchise. Lala Ree's iconic bag look versus the equally iconic chicken Kennedy Davenport Death Becomes Her look. Honestly, either one of these could win. But the fact that they're in this together is I expected both of these to make at least the semifinals. So the fact that they're in the same tier together, I think we have to break this down really quick. So for Lana, for some fans, they think that this is the worst look ever in the history of Drag Race. And you know what? I'm going to counter say it. I disagree. Is the look good? No. Is the look well constructed? No. However, I love a purple and pink color palette. It is my weakness. I will be honest with you. Half of the reason I'm defending this is because of the color palette. But here's the thing. With Lana, with Lala, I can find something to like about the look. With Kennedy's, I don't think I like any particular aspect of this. So for that reason, Kennedy Davenport is moving on. Fight about it in the comments. Okay, Dusty Ray Bottom's Feather Runway versus Rosé's makeover look. Half of the reason that this is on the look is because of the makeup. The makeup is chopped. The makeup is awful. But the look she's wearing, it's like, it's fine. Like, it's not anything groundbreaking, but it's cute, you know? It's like a little housewife moment. As for Dusty Ray, when you really look about it, it's really not a contest. Dusty Ray Bottoms, you are moving on up, girl. Next up, Naysha's Design Challenge look from the first episode of Season 8 versus Jade Jolie's Body Part Runway. Girl, that was so easy. Naysha's look was one of the ones suggested on TikTok, which again, you should go follow me. And I was shocked because, like, yeah, it's not the greatest, but like, golden boot worthy, please. And also, compared to this, compared to Baby's First Bride, congratulations, Jade, you're moving on. Okay, Adore Delano's Honey Boo Boo Couture versus Serena Cha Cha Design Challenge. If you were shocked that Adore was supposed to be Honey Boo Boo, you would have the correct opinion. As for Miss Cha Cha Slide, what is going on with her neck? I'm sorry, her lack of neck. Once again, I don't think this is a particularly hard decision. Adore Delano, congrats, girl. Oh my
God.
Joella's Mattress. I don't have to say anything more on Joella's Mattress. Versus Darian Lake's Jeweled Runway. When I first saw this come down the runway on season 17 of God's RuPaul's Drag Race, I was stunned. This woman had the audacity, the nerve, to say that she was known for her looks. And you know what? She's known for this one. Congrats to the Ella, you're moving on. Alright, last one before the next round. We have Cynthia Lee Fontaine's roller girl chick thing versus Candy Muse's alien thing. Both iconically bad in their own right. I feel like what's going to settle this debate is time and place. Candy's alien look. Yes, it's bad, but it makes sense for the runway. Whereas Cynthia's roller girl look. Where's she going? The cowgirl hat, the jewelry, the red frilly top, the shorts, the white socks that stop mid-calf. Nothing about this look goes together, and that is what gives it the edge. So congratulations, Cuckoo. You're going to the next round. We are moving on to the next round. First up, Elliot with 2 T's versus Derek Barry. This one's hard. Obviously, like Derek Barry, Hemgate is pretty iconic, but I feel like if we're going for golden boot territory, Elliot with 2 T's mops the floor with her. Jiggly Caliente versus a mandatory meeting. I don't think this is a contest. Jiggly Caliente absolutely whops the floor. Oh, this one's actually kind of hard. Dusty Ray Bottoms versus Kennedy Davenport. Both iconically bad feather runways. Oh, this is rough. Okay. I guess if we're going back to what I said about Lala's, I like the color palette of Dusty Ray. I think that with the red and the green, it's almost a little bit Christmas, you know? It's almost a little bit like tacky Christmas. Like, this is like the fairy that like didn't make it to the Sugar Plum Fairy dance. Again, I feel like Kennedy Davenport takes the cake here. Okay, 2 bad multicolored looks. We have J. Jolie in the body part, and then Adore Delano, Honey Boo Boo, Fantasy. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna get crucified for this, but you know what? J. Jolie. We have Joella and Miss Cynthia Lee Fontaine. Alright, next up. Elliot with 2 T's versus Jiggly Caliente. Ooh, this is actually kind of hard. I mean, both of these... you know what? When I say that, actually, Jiggly. Yeah, Jiggly. Next up, we have Kennedy Davenport versus J. Jolie. Kennedy Davenport versus Jiggly Caliente. Both iconic moments in the Logo TV era. Oh, this is really, really hard. I honestly I don't know who to pick. They're both so bad. I think for the gaudiness factor, I think if we're going by what genuinely looks worse, I think Jiggly Caliente all the day. And now we have our final 2, our top 2, Jiggly Caliente versus Joella. Who in the right mind? I genuinely don't know who to pick. I think with Jiggly Caliente, it is a visual seizure-inducing nightmare. There is so much going on with this. However, it at the very, very least, is an outfit that she has constructed onto her body. Joella took 2 giant sheets of what looks like crepe paper and attached them, cut a little funhouse hole out, and put her face through it and called it a runway. The winner, the first official winner of the Golden Boot Tournament Bracket Championship, whatever the F this video is going to be called, is Joella, the Slasian diva herself. Claps for Joella, claps all around. Yes, Queen, you better fucking work, diva. Congratulations, you've won a $2,500 shopping spree to Denny's. Hello girls, it's Carter here, Editing Carter. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. This is unfortunately the last video of the year. If you liked this video, feel free to subscribe, like the video, and follow me on YouTube and TikTok and all that. Like I said, this is going to be the last video of the year. I just want to thank you all so much for a wonderful 2025, and I wish you all a lovely holiday season no matter what you celebrate. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next year. Bye-bye!